What's up, everybody? I am the one, the only, the Comic Outlaw. Check us out on YouTube and see if you like what we got. And what we got right now is Green Arrow, Year 1, 2007. And yes, y'all, we are getting down and dirty with the origin of Green Arrow, aka Oliver Queen, aka The Hood, aka Arrow, and a bunch of other names the CW has chose to bestow upon him. But let's get this started, shall we? And we find Oliver basically touring the North Pole, the Himalayas. It really makes no difference. He's basically just been doing anything and everything: skydiving, rolling in jets, the F-18s. And he's with his main man, the man that keeps him safe. His name is Hackett. Pay very close attention, people. That name will become a little bit important sooner or later. But this is sooner rather than later, so let's get on with it. Now, as you see, Ollie, he's, just basically just doing anything to just kind of feel alive. He's rich, he's bored, he likes to drink, he likes to go out, he likes to roll around in money and women, typical playboy. What Bruce Wayne basically pretends to be. And there's Hackett right there, and he's explaining to him, that you need to find something to fill that void that Queen feels deep inside of him that he just can't seem to fill. And at this point, even though Hackett's an employee, he's basically kind of the only friend that Oliver has, or someone that knows him better. And I love this. He's calling a helicopter to pick him up. He's like, "I thought you were keeping it real." It's like people. The term "keeping it real" is people that can't afford to keep it real. I kind of like that. It just proves that who Oliver is. And they're at a charity auction right now. And of course, they're discussing a deal about some hotel in Fiji, $14 million, it's up for stake. And he's just getting drunk, being a lush, having basically too much of a good time at this party. And of course, they're auctioning off this bow, this very important bow that was once held by a man named Howard Hill, who did all the stunts for the original Errol Flynn Robin Hood movie back in 1938. It's a very interesting movie. I've seen it. It's worth checking out. And Oliver knows Howard Hill personally, and he just is enamored with this. And as they start auctioning it off, of course, drunk as hell, I might add, Oliver begins to yell out that he will pay $100,000 for the bow. And of course, he ends up winning. And then Oliver decides to go on a big tirade about druggies. And where the irony is that he's completely smashed himself, And he just makes a complete jackass out of himself in front of the fellow aristocrats. And basically everyone else, the news, the media. Drunken Oliver Queen has done it again. And he's even good enough to puke in one of the ice buckets. True class act. And as Oliver and his buddy Hackett are having their little discussion here, Hackett's supposed to take $14 million and deliver it, to Fiji for this deal. And Oliver decides to tag along with him because just to get out of the heat for a while. I mean, the press, everyone's going to start downing on him, and he just kind of needs to disappear. So he's kind of forcing Hackett to take him with him, even though Hackett really doesn't want to take a drunken playboy with him on a business trip when they're trying to avoid the IRS on this deal. But anyways, he doesn't have much of a choice. Oliver ends up going with him on the boat called the Pacific Queen. And you can see Oliver shooting targets with that bow. And this is where Oliver reveals that this Howard Hill guy was his teacher at one point when he was a kid. And he said that Oliver was naturally gifted with a bow and arrow. And this surprises Hackett because Oliver's actually good at something besides drinking and, banging different supermodels. And this bow feels like a piece of Oliver. And it's very interesting that this one moment that you see a glimpse of the man that he will become. But Hackett, of course, has other plans. Hackett was planning on stealing the money, planning on making off with it. And he's just tired of Oliver. He's tired of putting up with him. He's tired of his ego. And he feels that Oliver's basically just dead inside anyways, and he's looking for an excuse to kill himself. And Oliver, of course, just isn't having it. And he, at this moment, is contemplating what he's going to do, both Hackett and Oliver, because Hackett has spent a lot of time with him. And in a way, he is his friend, even though he's ripping him off. So Hackett is actually very conflicted at this point. But it doesn't stop Oliver from taking a swing at him, and the fight ensues. And of course, Hackett is just better. Former military, British Army, I think. Royal Navy, that's what it's called. And he just goes to town on Oliver. Kicks him down. And I love this angle right here of him jumping down. Beautiful artwork. He just smashes down. Of course, Oliver avoids it. And Oliver's just outclassed. At this point, he's outclassed, outgunned. There's really no way out of him. He's at the mercy of this man right here. But he still fights. He still goes at it. He still doesn't give up. You have to admire that. Just a little bit. And of course, Hackett does end up winning. He does go for the gun. But before he pulls that trigger, he receives a phone call from someone. Someone that, in Hackett's opinion, is a real bitch. Tells him to put 2 in his skull and throw him into the ocean and let the sharks have him. But Hackett, of course, is conflicted. And of course, he says he may be cold, but he's not that cold. But the ocean, on the other hand, is a whole different mistress, isn't it? So he picks Oliver up and throws the man overboard to let the sharks have him, to dispose of him. And as Oliver drifts off, what's going to happen to him? Where's he going to go? Well, will he meet his fate? We'll find out the next time, won't we? And as always, I'm Jack Slater, aka The Comic Outlaw, and I will catch you on the flip side.